citizenship and like deport me. But I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like, I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like, I can go live wherever I want.
My beloveds, welcome back to the Nissim Black Show. My greatest honor to be with all of you. So listen, Ilhan Omar, I mean, at some point, we just have to be honest with ourselves. This lady she's not fit. She's not fit to be here. You know, she's a fraudulent person. She is a disgusting person. She is a victim, race baiting person. She does horrible, horrible things, and she represents horrible things. And what's going on in Minnesota it's not 100% just her fault. It's a problem that we're having right now. And we've been trying to figure this out for a long time. Is it a matter of assimilation into American society, or is it once you are in America, does your culture match with Western values? And I really think that that's what the issue is. Like, you know, as before, I chose one of the old videos before of Tucker Carlson, where he was actually saying Hasidic Jews, even though they're very isolated, we are very isolated, even more so like in New York, where they're, you know, really in America, you know, very isolated, but the values still match with Western values. So it's not a problem if they're not assimilating, right? The problem is not assimilation. Nobody has to come here and or come to America at least and lose their culture. Nobody's asking you to do that. But what I think is proper to do is to ask you to come to America and to live within this culture and to be able to have a culture that coincides, that can coexist with Western values. Ilhan Omar has now said that she is not afraid. She'll go back to Somalia. She'll go back to wherever it is, and her allegiance is there. Now, everybody complains about Jews, complains about our relationship to Israel and how and the allegiance we have to it, and how much so it's connected to our religion, to the Jewish faith, right? It's the star of the Bible, as my good friend Michael tells me. It is the star of the Bible is the land of Israel. So yes, there's an affinity to it. The same reason why evangelical Christians also have an affinity for it, because it is the star of the Bible. So therefore, it means a lot to all of us. However, if you are, so enamored and you're in love with the place that you had to run from, right, because the value system there and because of the wars that were going on there, I don't understand what other people's allegiance would be to be for that place. Maybe they're thinking at a time when it was not so, war-driven or anything like that. But Ilhan Omar has definitely said that her place, her home, is Somalia. And I think that along with, Ron DeSantis and with President Trump, I think we should send her back there. But one thing she is clear of, she is tired of the threats, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, before you get back to the show, I just want to let you know that we have launched Nissim Black Store. All you have to do is go online, order yourself one of these amazing mugs, God is King, with a matching t-shirt. We have a whole plethora of different shirts that are all about representing God wherever you go. As believers in the one true God of Israel, it is our duty not to hide, not to back down, not to shy away from expressing our faith wherever it is that we go. If you want to go and walk righteously before your God with a nice t-shirt, with a nice sweater, with a mug that's reminding us constantly that God is here with us, go to nissimblack.store and make sure you get yourself some merch. It really helps support this channel and everything that we're doing and everything that we plan to do. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. I thank you all for all of your support. Okay, back to the show.
I have no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and like deport me, but I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like, I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like, I can go live wherever I want.
So you should. And you should go live whatever you want, because it's very clear for all of us that Somalia is a place that you want to live. And it's very, very clear. And if it's never been more clear, you guys have got to see this clip. So I'm sorry for all of you who are only listening to the audio, but it is translated here. So if you get a chance to watch the video, and I think we're at the point of where we're trying to also start loading up these clips also on the Spotify as well in videos. So hopefully you'll be able to catch it there. This is her welcoming the president of Somalia in Minnesota.
madaxweyne xasan sheekh maxamuud inaan maanta ku soo dhaweyno Minneapolis aniga iyo madaxweynaha special relationship aan qabnaa aniga adeeraan ugu wacaa asigana gabarteeyu idhahaa madaxweyne sidii qof kasta uu yiri mininkaaga waaye ku soo dhawow Minneapolis aad iyo aad aan ugu faraxsanahay in maanta madaxweynaheena aad tahay Somalia dadka meeshaan wada joogo
Somalia is our home.
dhan waa gurigooda
And it is the home to all the people who are gathered here, she said.
ma dareensannihin in ay naga tahay meel
And we do not feel that it is far from us.
naga fog Somalia wadnaheena ku nooshahay
Somalia is in our hearts. It is in our heart. It is in our hearts.
qalbigeena ku jirtaa maalin kasta aan ka fikirna
And we always think about Somalia.
Somalia
And that's okay. Nobody is saying that that in itself is a problem. However, what is a problem is when you live in another country and you disrespect that country and that country that has given you freedoms that you would have never gotten in Somalia, because if you would have got those freedoms, you know what? You still be there. You still be in that country, but you're not. And so therefore so she jumps on this bandwagon with the rest of the squad members. They're all cuckoo ladies, right? And becomes this advocate for racism and the refugees and all these other things like that. You have so many benefits that you couldn't even imagine in Somalia. But yet she trashes the country here. She trashes the country. I'm going to show you her on CNN.
Why do you think Nancy Mace is targeting you as much as she is?
It's an easy clickbait. There is a lot of hate in this country for Muslims. There's a lot of hate in this country for black people, especially black women. And there is a lot of hate, severe hate for immigrants. And so I fit them all.
So go back home. If you love Somalia so much and you're not afraid, you could go live wherever you want. It sounds like the place you want to go live is in Somalia. This is what I believe.
She knows that she can easily raise money and get support for her bigotry from her bigoted, the bigoted people who want to give money to her campaign. But the reality is, in this country, the First Amendment does not only protect speech, it protects the right and liberty for anybody to practice their faith. I do practice the Muslim faith. I am an immigrant. I am proud of both of those things. And I was, of course, born in Somalia, which the president likes to mention. And I'm also proud of my Somali heritage, and that is not something that they can take away from me. And I just want to say, one thing that the president should understand is that you can't impeach a sitting member of Congress. And it is unfortunate that the members of Congress have not educated, they're uneducated president about how things work in Congress.
So what's interesting about that is that, but you can't be deported. You can't be deported. And I think that that's the thing. That's where Trump is coming from. Like, if they wanted to, they could. Now, she's caught in a fraud scandal, big scandal, that she allegedly married her brother. I'm going to show you that really quickly. But first, I want to show President Trump's response to Ilhan.
Don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do.
And you're talking about
I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman goes around telling everybody about our Constitution, and yet she supposedly came into our country by marrying her brother. Well, if that's true, she shouldn't be a congressman, and we should throw her the hell out of our country.
And I would agree. I mean, there's many more other issues in the violence and the crime of what a lot of these Somalian immigrants are actually committing inside of Minnesota. This is the point of contention here. And like I said, it's not a problem if you are not assimilating. It's a problem if the only assimilation becomes an issue when the culture of that which you come from does not fit into the Western values that the United States functions under, right? So if you have societal norms that are outside of that, which a lot of these guys do, they are Muslim, they are Sunni Muslim by and large, most Somalians are, right? Which is fine. But the problem is that once Sharia law becomes the new law and we no longer have to follow the law, then how do you go back to now pointing to the Constitution, right, that you want to do away with because you want to institute Sharia law? On top of all the violence and the rhetoric of how many of these people have gotten caught up in quote unquote, black culture, which is prevailing in Minnesota, the murder, the homicides, the gang violence, it has not been a good fit. And that's what we have to say. And I am not anti-Somali. I have a lot of Somali friends that I grew up with. I'm from Seattle. I think Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, I should have checked this out. I think that it's at least third, at least I remember, third or second in the United States. I think it's third. I think it's first Minnesota has the highest Somalian population, then Ohio, and then Seattle, where I'm originally from, right? So I grew up with a lot of Somalians. Very, very beautiful people, sweet people. I was very cool with them, didn't have an issue. But as time went on, you started to see the younger generation really take into a lot of the culture, the hip hop, the everything else, and they formed gangs and things started to get really out of hand. And that's just the reality of what it is. And there's a certain thing of that nature. So if you have a group of people who came from a certain society and then you're trying to fit into this one and it's not working for you, that's fine. Go back home, especially if you have such an allegiance. But on the fraud that she actually did commit, it's all here, ladies and gentlemen. Just see this tweet. So here's a tweet. Shout out to Chicago One Ray. It says the evidence shows Ilhan Omar married her brother, Ahmed Noor Saeed Elmi. Marriage records have been made public, which is incest. It's a crime. You can't marry your brother. Not even in Islam. So she helped him gain citizenship, and that's a crime. Raise your hand if you want the DHS to start deportations immediately. And I think we do. And here goes those pictures, the picture of her and her brother, the love of her life, with the marriage contracts right there, because they have been made public. Anybody could go and see them now. So on this alone, yes, go. Please. Because she is not helping. She is not helping society. She is not. She is for sure. Out of all these other people, I've been hearing a lot of people complaining about, well-intended immigrants here, hardworking, being taken by ICE and all that. And that is a shame. But at the same time, when you got people like this still sitting in Congress, still sitting in positions of power in the United States, and she is not only is she not contributing to it, she is literally a cancer to American society. So I say, get her out. Throw her out. Let's get her out of here. Because after all, she's not afraid to go anywhere. She could go and live wherever she wants. So she should probably go and do that. Let me know what you guys think about this. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and to remember always to serve God or live trying. I'm out. I don't have to tell you that in our fast-paced lives, we rarely stop to just breathe, to reconnect ourselves with Hashem and with our purpose. And that's why I'm really excited to tell you about Kavana, an incredible new app that helps bring mindfulness and Jewish spirituality into everyday life. It's filled with guided meditations, music, sleep stories, quick 1-minute pauses, and daily inspiration, all designed to help you live with more Kavana, with more intention, more presence, and more meaning. And right here on the Kavana app, I will be releasing a brand new guided Heat Buddha series, a powerful journey into personal prayer and connection with the Creator. So go download the Kavana app today, sign up, and join me for the course.